well, where do you go now?
Can I heal?
Luna's having a
Luna
panic attack, so.
Okay.
Can I heal Luna a bit, please?
Alright, so you guys want to find a place to stop? And, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Recover.
Make survival checks to find.
Riding on horses, Lord of the Rings soundtracks in the background, sweeping New Zealand cameras as we're escaping.
Yeah. Survival.
Make survival checks to find a safe place.
Okay.
I have 15,
Oh.
and that's it.
Wow.
Alright.
I like these dice right now.
I'm not gonna roll because Luna's just not in it.
Yeah, she's out.
I rolled a 19.
Ah, excellent.
Okay.
Hey, that's great.
I found a tree. You found the beautiful knoll beyond the tree that is perfectly shielded.
Actually, can I make my situation worse?
Yeah.
For fun? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
What's this? Brain. Okay, math.
Stop changing.
Okay, my health is now at 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because my greater health is more than that of the werewolf health.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided that like the werewolf health would be part of my regular health, and then I'm taking damage beyond that. So now my health is at 2.
Okay.
Out of 64.
Alright, so do I say anything since I found a thing? Or
Yeah, you made the survival check.
Sorry, I was working
Hi,
on
Callie.
the music. So you guys ride into the wilderness. Keyathi, you spot this glade. The wilderness is a hilly wilderness, so you have to ride up on the hills and you go through brush, and there are these trees that aren't necessarily like evergreens, but they're like gnarly kind of oaks and like trees that can like bend and wind on a hillside. But you managed to find a flattish piece of land and settle the horses and take a breather for a moment.
Luna's just like in
Yeah,
tears
thanks,
and in pain. And
can I cast a spell?
Yeah. You guys are out of combat.
I want to cast cure. What do I have? Healing word. I think I have.
You have cure wounds?
Yeah. I have healing word. That's my best. All right, so I'm gonna cast healing word on Luna.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a number. I'm rolling a number.
Hi, Callie.
Ciara like eases Luna off the horse, a sobbing mess, and as Keyathi winds up the spell.
does anyone
Alright,
have clothes
it's-
for me?
It's
I
five
think there's a
shiny
quote
health.
somewhere.
5
Okay.
shiny health.
Five shiny.
My
Shiny.
5 shiny health.
Keyathi bends down and you feel this. It's like I feel like this would be like your like pink red magic as it sinks into you and you pushes out the arrows and they heal a bit. Like they'll collectively heal a little more, but still pretty tiny.
Yeah.
As Luna's just sitting there like a pincushion and like trying to wrap up in her cloak and catching her breath between sobs. She was just trying to like think of something to make her happy, and then she was trying to remember her thing with her last conversation with her ancestors thing, and that they gave her something to help her.
Yeah.
So she just kind of asked like, okay, I don't feel good. Help.
Okay, so they endowed you with an ability.
Mm-hmm.
So you focus back to that moment where they basically like gave you their blessing of love and acceptance, and the thought of like the curse is not you. The curse is not who you are, and you didn't make the choice to do that. And you take some comfort in that, and as you focus on their love, you feel your hands begin to warm, and then this soft light that's yellow and kind of goldish comes up from your hands, and you can, you just instinctively like put it on your wounds as they begin to recede and heal.
I'm just gonna dump all my land hands there. So
Yeah, and you basically use all of the fountain that they gave you, and you sense that perhaps with time and ability you'll be able to like expand that fountain of healing, and but for now it has been expended.
Yes, please no fun ghosts. Hard to
Ciara is gonna take the time, like as like Keyathi is tending to Luna, just sort of glance around. Where'd the little one go? And looks around for Ellie.
Ellie's not there. As soon as we found the glade, she's walked off on her own. And you would find her just like kind of at the edge, just kind of watching out to where, like, the far off distance where Hillock would be, and just watching just the little, like, kind of like torch lights, and her hair is still this drifting snow, and she's just like kind of looking longfully.
And Ciara just quietly walks up to, so like just carefully walks up to her side in case she wants to be a little alone, but she gets the feeling it's probably not the best. So she just sort of stands by her and looks down, looks up. You really saved the day today, you know that.
Yes, but I wasn't able to save her. I gave her the scar across her eye because of my powers. I wasn't able to save her with my powers. I don't know what to think.
Ciara's not quite sure what to say to that because she knows that there is a sense of failure with warriors when they can't save their own. And if it's a civilian, someone that you feel you should be able to because they're weaker than you, she knows that it's particularly more delicate. So rather than trying to make that better, she sort of just taking a little note from the talk that her and Lucius had the other night, she sort of just arm out a little bit and sort of, it's this weird little tent look, like her arm, because she's taller than Ellie, so like her arm goes out in like a little triangle fashion and sort of tries to tuck the little one into like the crook of her elbow as she sort of like side hug-ish, and she's just like,
Ellie will lean in for a little bit, and then she'll kind of instinctually just like look away and be like, I need to be alone. And she is going to wild shape into, I think, just like a small deer and just like go off into the woods.
Yeah. Turn into a doe.
Yep.
And walk into the forest to clear your head.
Ciara looks at the spot that she left in and just sits and watches the spot. Her little familiar sort of flutters down, turns, like twists into a little weasel and just sort of tucks underneath her knee as she's sort of sitting crisscross on the ground. We'll be waiting here.
Yeah, so there's a deep, heavy tension across the glade.
Luna's just kind of like curled up in a ball, like kind of has her cloak wrapped around her. She just kind of crying, refusing to make eye contact with anyone. Like, she just won't look at anyone. Just kind of like shaking at the thought of like what she just did.
Yeah.
Because like, sure there were close calls before, but like.
Yeah, now it's like real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Resident healer.
I mean, I guess no one else is around.
I'm on the other side of a tree.
Yeah, you look around, see Luna just sobbing quietly. Kiara
I
staring
thought
off.
I was still with Luna.
Yeah,
You're still with her, yeah. You see, like, Luna's at your feet crying in a ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I settled her down from the horses, and then as you were healing her, I sort of went to go check on Ellie. Probably did this little little gesture before heading off.
Okay,
Yeah.
Keyathi not frankly much help here. She is...
Do you think she'd just,
Ask-
like, kind of...
she's going to ask Luna, and she said, do you want me to stay by your side?
Luna will kind of like not register it for a second, and then register it, and then just kind of like shake her head. And kind of pull the hood up over like a little cloth ball.
Alright, well, please just stay there. Go ahead and rest, you deserve it. I'm going to look around not too far just to get a sense of what else could be around here. So Keyathi wants to go and like perceive the
Look, want pets or don't want pets?
Yes. Yeah, our cat's been wandering around the table. So, Keyathi, you basically peruse the area, I suppose, just to
yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's like anyone still chasing us, or if there's any like other animals around that we need to be careful of.
Okay. So,
If it helps, my passive perception is 17. If you want to use that.
Okay. Here, I'll do. Alright, Keyathi, evens or odds, just pick one.
Oh, hold on a second. Evens.
Okay, so we'll actually come back to you because I know
Okay.
what we'll do, but we're gonna go to we'll say that you basically scout the area and you don't find anything immediately happening, and but you're gonna spend time continually like patrolling. And Ellie, as you're walking in the woods, a couple of hours actually pass of just you walking and contemplating what happened. And you actually see this it's you see this white stallion come like riding around, and you recognize it as Odo's horse, and Odo, but the person like riding the horse isn't Odo. And then there are, but you also see Simone and Garrick with that other person. Yeah, Simone is one of Odo's lackeys. She's
She was the one that was kicking us in the butts when we were getting our butts kicked from both ends. Both cheeks kicking butts.
yeah. It appears that they are looking for something. And we'll say that you gather close and you can overhear them talking. As you hear Simone speak, she says, well, I mean, you'd think they'd leave a bigger trail as they just took 4 chargers into the forest. And Garrick's like, those horses I could have ridden on one of those horses. They're just kind of making small talk, and it's clear to Ellie that there is like some sort of tension in this group. as the person in the middle who doesn't look like Odo, but the voice is Odo, and you can gather that he's disguising himself, he just says, well, I just want to keep looking. I didn't think Uncle would show up and react this way. I thought he would just, I don't know, be more rational about it. He looks around, he's like, I hate this. So dirty. I've never understood why Luna liked it so much. You see him like wiping himself. He's just like, I hate this.
Bugs and dirt and bugs and dirt and leaves! Leaves!
There's bugs in the dirt.
Disgusting.
And some of them live on the trees!
And Luna's like, if you rub your hands together really fast like this, then more dirt clumps will fall down.
Yeah. It's just like, I had to modify Varin's memory. Figure it out, but so, I don't know how long it will last. It's pretty sharp who put the pieces together. We just got to enough door. Get out of here. Looks around. And they continue to look.
Yeah, I've just been staring with my doe eyes. Just and look around. Then I bound back to the group, transformed back, and kind of like not really making eye contact with anybody. Just like, so Odo and his men are here. I mean, it looks like I look at Luna just briefly. It looks like he wants to help and get you away from his.
Thoughts are
from
cute
his
to go
father.
there.
Uncle.
Yeah, from his uncle who did all the arrows.
Luna just kind of like with her hood up. I think she'll just stand up and like kind of keep the cloak around herself, and she's just like, might as well. And just kind of like walk in the direction you came from without looking at you.
Yeah, and we'll go to Keyathi, back to Keyathi's scene. So as you're walking in the woods, you are you're actually like a ways off of the camp. You just, after like a couple of initial patrols, you decide to just make wider circles. And you're walking when you hear a voice behind you, and it says, I saw you with the werewolf. As you turn and see Varin, who stands just cross-armed, and he looks at you and he says, look, I know you probably think of her as your friend, but no one comes back from that. Let me put her down. We already lost one innocent. Sort of like waits for you to.
Well, Keyathi hears him. But I can't agree. I've known Luna for so long. Putting her down. We're trying to find a way out of it. We're so close. You almost put an end to it completely.
And he puts his arms out and he like shows you his patch, and he says, I made an oath. I made an oath to protect people, innocents, from creatures like your friend. It's unfortunate, but I have to ask you, are you willing to bear the responsibility of knowing that she can kill again?
You have goth mom.
Can I like pause the RP so I can think about what to say? It's like,
Switch the camera or something.
Yeah, let's switch to the camera. Oh yeah, we'll switch to the camera and so Ellie, are you taking them to Odo?
Oh, Ciara has something to say about that.
Okay, yeah, alright.
We've got a few things to say about that. Like Ciara stood up as Ellie re-entered camp, like, and of course the little ferret scuttles around like blah blah blah. We're awake now, and when she hears what's going on, she says almost at the same time as when Luna says, "Well, then we may as well." She says, "Well, that's our cue to go then," and she looks as Luna's about to go. She's like, "Oh no, we're not making the same mistake again." Make the mistake once. So, das on him. Second time, no. This may not be an improvement, but this prevents that again. I don't know how you're seeing it. From where I'm standing, you have more control around us than what you did back there. And I hate to break it to you, but that's how it is. We're not going back. I don't care if he wants to help.
Luna's kind of just like frozen, like still not looking at you. It's like, and like you can kind of like sense gears turning, sort of thing. Because like she actually was like just continuing to walk until you made the point of you have more control with us than you did with them. It's like, okay, maybe that's a good point.
You are speaking logic.
Yeah.
And Ciara looks at the both of them, and when she looks back at Luna, she's like, "Oh, look at me." And it's probably the one time you've heard her use this tone. I don't know if it'll take you guys back to the matrons or anything, but she does say it with a self-position. It's a look at me. And then she looks at Ellie and she says the thing, she's like, "You too." And she looks at the both of them.
Yeah, she turns her chin up, furrowed brow, she just like has constant just like sad face.
Luna's just kind of actually like looks at your feet.
And then she looks back at Luna. Eyes up here. And just like one like helpful gesture. It's a little bit less stern now, but it still has that command to it. I need your eyes.
Luna just kind of mumbles. She's like, "I can't travel with you anymore."
Wait, what'd you say?
I started traveling to help Ellie. I can't do that anymore.
And that's how you feel now?
After what I've done, I don't imagine my father's gonna want to take me back either. Where else am I supposed to go?
What you done and what has happened. And she sort of thinks about it. What you did and what you do are two different things. You. And she touches, she like sort of touches the, like, your sternum just a little bit. It's a little bit firm, but she's like, "Oh, Luna is not an indiscriminate murderer." And she looks at Ellie. Now there's a lot to be said about today. A lot. But the two of you can't just disband what you've been through and what you've been going through. It's an entire lifetime from what I've been looking at. Without at least a final word on it. And this is nothing but final. This ain't settled. And I'll be damned before a pretty boy and all of his little friends and all the king's horses and men decide to interrupt that. So we're going to take this merry band and find some privacy. Away from that. and with some damn control. Where's Keyathi?
Just hanging out over there, man.
Where's your father? Just like,
then we'll go back to Keyathi with
Okay.
Varin.
Okay, I just gotta say though, I love the idea that apparently I'm the father.
You're the dad friend.
Dad.
you're the
I
one
don't know,
ducking the cops, trying to keep
always
us
feel
alive.
I always feel like Keyathi is more like the mom friend. I don't know. Whatever. Two moms.
Persnickety dad's head. Yeah, two moms.
Two moms.
All
Yeah,
right,
two
we should
moms.
definitely feed off that more. That we're like the parents of this little gang. Let's do that in this. I want to explore that.
Who's the eldest sibling?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. Anyway,
The little ones, where are they?
Chaos drive.
anyway, so yeah, back where actually, I thank you for giving me that time to think of what to say. Because I think
No, I
Anyway.
totally get it. So
Yeah.
he he says, to reiterate what he said, are you ready to bear the burden of knowing that she can kill again?
Alright, well, Keyathi definitely takes her own moment to just kind of like think about it, just like, oh, that is bad. I agree. That's very, very bad. And then she just kind of like, she has her head lowered for a bit, and then she kind of just looks up at Varin at that old grizzled face and kind of asks him, can I respond with my own question? How many werewolves have you killed in your lifetime?
And he
Tally marks.
he actually like pulls out like a diary or like
Okay.
a kind of like this journal, and he like goes through like he says, I think he's like probably, I don't imagine it's that common actually, but he's been doing it for like a really long time.
Yeah.
I don't know why 42 comes to mind. We'll say it's 42.
So it's sort of life, universe, and everything. So
Yeah, so he
And the number of werewolves that this old man has come across. Dang, this really is an epidemic. Someone should get on this. Anyway,
well he's
So
been
You
doing
gotta
it
find
for
the root of the
like
problem,
almost-
man.
yeah, like
to
it's
be
like,
honest, Keyathi isn't
a
really
40
waiting
year
for an
span.
answer. She kind of just keeps talking. She's just like, have you ever? She's gonna ask him like, well, besides that, have you ever fought a murderous demon? Have you ever crawled out of the belly of a volcanic beast? Have you ever buried a friend that you could have saved that was inches in front of you when they died? So honestly, I think by this point I have no choice but to be responsible for the friends that I have. And she kind of puts her hand on her symbol, her little holy symbol there. And what's more, I have more control over anything that could go wrong than I ever did before. So yes, I'm here to take responsibility. She just kind of
he looks at you for like a long time,
just 10 minutes. Just
and it's this old wizened face of like a man who has, you can tell by like his eyes and how like tired they are, and make like an insight check on him just for
okay.
like, flavor.
I'm quite insightful. Oh yes, dirty 20.
Yes, so you see him make this connection with you as like you feel like he is someone who has had his own share of friends who have died in his arms or in his proximity, and you can see this, there's sort of this like pride of like, I am protecting people, but there's also like this vein of sadness in his posture as he knows that they are people at the end of the day. So like you can sense that he does grimly like accept this responsibility, and he like turns through the journals and he says, you know, we used to try doing a ritual to suppress the beast. And every time I'd have to hunt them again. I mean, implying that they did the ritual and, like, years down the line it, like, failed. And so he had to go and put them down. And, he looks at you and your conviction, and he closes the book and he says, I don't want more death. I have seen so much of it in my life. And
Keyathi, she wants to say,
Yeah.
She'll just kind of like nod and like this weird little understanding she has with this guy that she cursed to be a loser.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But she has this like understanding that's like, no, this is good. This is progress. And she's gonna say, well, I cannot agree with you more. And from what hopefully you can remember, everything that we did just to get her out of there as soon as possible, we don't want that done either. So you can understand that we're all dedicated to ensuring that she is able to stay herself as long as possible.
Dedicated. Sorry.
And
I'm the dad friend.
he you see him sigh and just sort of lean back and say, there's this long just look into the forest, and he turns back and looks at you and says, I'm not sure why, but your little bend inspires me to let you try. And he leans in close to you and looks at you like in your eyes, like intensely. I need you to like this is like soul to soul like sort of thing.
Okay.
I need you. I will let you go on the condition that if she needs to, if you cannot find a way, that you will put her to rest.
Yeah, the still has her hand on her holy symbol, and she basically just kind of nods and says, "Reveal Shriak, I'm not."
Like he looks at the symbol. There's a flicker of recognition as he like recognizes, and then he nods and leaves.
Varin's just like, if you're a follower of Riotrack, why are you white?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Why are
Red,
you?
purple or blue or like stone color? Like what's up?
It's complicated, dude. Leave me alone in my religion.
yeah, like he looks a little
Oh,
surprised. And he was as surprised as a stoic man can look, like just this like little like hint of an eye twitch, like
You're awfully topside for a drow.
alright.
Wait a minute, did I look at that right?
That's why I'm pale. Come on.
So no, he's not rude like that.
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so you watch him just walk back, and something you've noticed about him is that he's very quiet in the forest. Like you almost don't hear him. It's a very skilled hunter. And we'll go back to another group.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your DM. Thank you for watching Dungeon Damsels. This is not the end of the session, so please stay tuned for the next part. We update on Tuesdays and Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're interested in supporting us more, please push the subscribe button, like, or comment. We also have a Patreon, wink wink nudge nudge, and our show is in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, and plenty of other podcast platforms. Thanks, we hope to hear from you soon.